Well, last time we looked again at wealth and how we handle wealth. You know, I learned a long time ago, I want to use an illustration. I had a woman that came on my television program, and I had a TV show out in California years ago, and her name was Mom Taylor. I want to share Mom's story today because I believe it's going to encourage some of you. She had a revelation of Christ one night. Her husband, Pop Taylor, had died, and they had a ministry of just ministering to others and giving and that kind of thing, but nothing like God was about to do with Mom Taylor. He said, "Listen, Mom, I want you to know something. Your husband has died, but I am now your husband." He always had been, but he says, "I'm going to reveal myself to you in such a way that you're going to be taken care of by me." So when I called Mom Taylor up, I said, "Mom, how are you doing?" Because she and I had a really good relationship. She was an older lady, and she loved God, and she was teaching me how to reach out to the homeless and the poor. That's what she did in my life. She put that mantle on our ministry in that television studio that night, and it never left. I said, "Mom, how are you doing?" Here was her answer every time. "Jerry, how would you be doing kept by a rich Jew?" Don't you love that? "How would you be doing kept by a rich Jew?" I said, "Who's that, Mom?" I always knew. "Oh, that's Jesus, my husband. He's taking care of me." Isn't that great? How would you be doing kept by a rich Jew? And then she taught me a principle of giving. Here it is. She said, "Jerry, your ability to give isn't based on what you have." Now get this. It's based on God's ability to supply. So she said, the only reason you quit giving is because God's broke. She said, the day that God has no more resources, stop giving. But if he owns a cattle on 1,000 hills and all the silver and the gold is his, he can release it to you. Your ability to give is not based on what you have, but on God's ability to supply. I wrote it in my Bible. It's right here in the cover of my Bible. I wrote it down. That was almost 20 years ago. And I've been practicing that as best I know how. Sometimes I got a little fearful because I really didn't believe down inside of my heart that God is going to replenish it. Now I'm confident that if I give graciously, God will graciously supply. Why? Because God ain't broke. I know ain't is good, but I tell you, God is not broke. And when you give, you release the resources of God in your life. If you don't give, sow sparingly, reap sparingly. Well, we're going to be talking more about that tomorrow. God bless you. Have a wonderful day of living graciously in His presence. Take care.